Hello, how you guys doing? I hope you're doing well out there. James here. Hope you like the product that I introduced earlier on my channel. With the just in case you want to get that. Again, that's over on TikTok. You might probably want to get over this and get you one before they ban TikTok. Anyway, this is the session I want to talk about. What's going on with some of these women, but I'm going to show you a few videos. This first case is, I feel really bad for this young woman, what this guy did, but it's not looking good. Watch
There's a simple rice hack anyone can use to dissolve their belly fat almost overnight. Did you know that you can pee out fat? Most people...
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Many of you know the story of Aaliyah Taylor. She is an African-American lady that was dating Seahawks player Chad Wheeler. And Chad Wheeler had a very disturbing past, even before he got to the NFL. He played for the Giants. He also played, I believe, for the Seahawks. And he was actually starting. The problem is, the guy is crazy, okay? And he beat this lady almost to an inch of her life. Not only that, when he was doing it, these guys couldn't even handle him. They literally had to get like 10 cops, right? So now he has been sentenced for that. I want to play this clip and then I want to come back.
Survivor Aaliyah Taylor said she's been waiting all that time for the chance to address Wheeler, and she asked the judge to show him no mercy. His family begged for leniency, noting his mental health issues. The judge factored both arguments into his decision. I should warn you that some of the details are disturbing.
Thank you, Your Honor, for the chance to address Chad after waiting over 3 years.
Years after former Seahawk Chad Wheeler was arrested for assault. Years after Aaliyah Taylor spent months trying to look away from the lasting injuries on her neck, face, and arms. Years after a family began grappling with the violent outbursts during a mental health episode.
At that time, he was purely delusional.
Survivor Aaliyah Taylor got her chance to speak.
Chad, before you tried to kill me, I would have done anything for you. You weren't honest with me and it almost cost me my life.
And Wheeler his chance to apologize.
You do not deserve any of this. You are a good and caring woman, and I wish nothing but the best for you.
A jury convicted Wheeler in November for first-degree assault after investigators say he punched, choked, and beat Taylor during a mental health episode. In court, his friends and family argued it was a tragedy born of that illness, one they didn't see coming.
Chad's mental state has been, it's been a thing, but he's never been violent.
Taylor argued it could have been prevented.
I want you to think about how you had access to the best doctors and medications, sleep machines, yet chose to be ungrateful and not use any of it.
The judge considered both the gravity of the crime and Wheeler's diagnosis.
I had scars, as you can see, imprints on your fingers on my neck.
You did nothing wrong. I was suffering from a bipolar episode.
He sentenced Wheeler to 81 months with a lifetime no-contact order. Wheeler said he'll get help for bipolar disorder and the effects of CTE.
I promise to get the help I need to ensure an event this catastrophic never happens again.
Meanwhile, Taylor is reclaiming her life after voicing her pain.
It'll be a cold day in hell before I show you any mercy. And I'll find peace. I'll find life. I will find love again.
Erica Zuko, King 5 News.
So this guy already had NFL situations, okay? Already had it, okay? He already had a lot of them. So she gets the guy, and you hear what they're talking about now. Like, at the end of that news clip, you see what he did there, right? He had CTE, concussions, he's bipolar. you see her trying to cover that up for the guy? If this was the person that was black, you wouldn't hear that at all. If that was a black guy, we wouldn't hear, oh, he has CTE and bipolar. No. You're not gonna hear that. But I do want to discuss this for the ladies out there who love putting down their brothers.
How does the best basketball player of all time make more money in his retirement?
Love putting down their brothers. And I'm very fair on both of this. Because I see black men going over to white ladies and doing the same thing, getting treated even worse. It can happen. My question is, why is it that when we look in situations like this, that you feel somehow that, you know what, this white guy is going to be automatically better for me, and I'm tired of black men? We've covered so many stories here on the platform that race is just not a factor, especially when you have selected a guy, or anybody selects a guy or a woman that has previous problems before they come and meet you. Like Aaliyah Taylor did not deserve this. This was a guy who already had issues. He already had problems, okay? NFL scouts. He went undrafted for a reason. Why? Off the field issues, okay? The young man is crazy in certain aspects, if not all, okay? That's why. So if you're the kind of person, I'm not saying that she is, you want to date somebody because they are white, and I believe that he also had some racial slurs during the incident towards the lady. And a lot of ladies got to understand, you can't just, that person is a white man, they're going to treat you better. Look, I'm here in Africa, right? And I see so many ladies, I have this Pan-African dating show. They come in the inbox. Now, there's nobody but Africans on my show. You'll always see a lady come on there and say, hey, can you find me a white guy, right? And I'm not trying to say all white men are bad or anything like that, but they just completely disregard the fact that the show is for, blacks in the diaspora or continental Africans, and give me a white person. And they quickly disregard the fact that they feel like, well, a person that's black is not going to be nice to me. A person that is black is going to just mistreat me and, do whatever he wants. That's the mentality. And then do you know how many stories that I've heard from people who are not black on the continent of Africa and things they do? One of the worst stories I've read was a guy that was from France. He went over to Francophone West Africa. He was Ivory Coast, Mali, Burkina Faso, Congo, places like that. Want to know what the guy was doing? He had won a lottery in France. He went directly to Africa. He wrote and said he had over 1,100 kids in Africa. He created 1,100 single mothers. 1,100 single mothers. I mean, like, what do you say to that? 1,100 single mothers. Like, you cannot even make that up, right? And all those chicks feel like, well, this guy is white, I finally got me somebody. Until you find out that, well, yeah, maybe you don't really have what you think you have based on race. Because people don't look for people based on values. I see so many guys. I heard a story today. Brother went out there to the Philippines. I'm going to do a whole episode on it. Brother goes to the Philippines. He goes out there, tired of American women. Let me go get a Filipino lady. He's in love with the lady. He's going to move out there. Gives the lady $75,000 to buy a house. The lady ditches him. He can't contact the lady. You know what? Let me go and fly. I know the address of the place. Goes to the house. Guess what? A guy answers the door. Guy goes, hey man, what do you need? Yo man, I'm here for such and such. Oh yeah, that's my wife. What? So they get to talking and, the guy probably has some flip-flops or whatever. He pretty much paid for a house for somebody else. Something that they would never have achieved in their own lifetime. Bought the house, built the house, beautiful home, you're not in it. Why? Oh, why? Let me get somebody from the Philippines, because that person is going to be just as more submissive, and you can find it. It's true. It can be true. It can also not be true. Then you know what? You know who looks like a fool? You.
And the model is the minimum investment for somebody, as I read it, is $100.
That's correct. Yep, $100.
So if you have $100, you could be 20 years old or you could be 60 years old. You can get started in here. Is there a maximum that you can put in this?
That's right. So you can invest on our platform today, investwithroots.com, with...
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my channel, Runaway Slave. like to give a big up to all my subs and supporters who like, comment, and share the videos. In addition, a special big up to all those who purchased my masterpiece, my book, The N-Word is No Secret in the Service. Big up to you all. Let's cook.
All new at 5, ABC 12 Sherry Hartman is live at the Genesee County Jail, where Brandon Scott Mero is being held, Sherry.
Matt, Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton says this was no accident. The couple had gotten to an argument earlier in the evening. He went looking for her, he found her, and he hit her.
He found her walking and ran her down. How we know this is because there's a lot of physical evidence. When the car hit her, she came up on the hood, hit the windshield, rolled along the side of the car, hit the back window, knocked that out, and then she went to the pavement.
28-year-old Brandon Scott Mero has been charged with first-degree premeditated murder, failure to stop at the scene of an accident that resulted in death, witness intimidation, and tampering with evidence. Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton says they believe Mero ran down his girlfriend, 26-year-old Taisha Kemp, as she walked along Davison Road June 2nd. Her body was found on the side of the road a little after 4 in the morning. When police arrived at the scene, Mero was there along with the victim's mother.
Yeah, that's kind of unusual. You see that with arsonists, but you don't see that very often with murderers. We think it was all part of a cover-up where he was trying to suggest that we better go look.
Okay, people, this took place in the year of 2018 and in the state of Michigan. But since our people are still suffering from trauma-based amnesia and not changing our behavior, we can say that this happened yesterday. Now, the sister here, her name is Taisha Kemp. She's 26 years of age. And as you heard in that video, she was savagely killed by her white boyfriend, Brandon Mero. Okay? So Taisha Kemp, squared away young black woman, a professional, a registered nurse, did her thing, went to school, you know? But people, due to this inferiority complex adjustment scale in America, she has a white junkie named Brandon Mero. And this is due to the inferiority complex adjustment scale. And this adjustment scale only benefits white people. It never benefits us. That's why you don't see any well-off white men coming to marry our black women and empower black families, okay? You don't see that. And there are no white women who could actually be with a respectable white man, right? Picking up these loser black men and just, you know, giving them a great life. Ain't happening. Only we do that. Only we do that. That's why this inferiority adjustment complex, this scale, it benefits white people only. So what happened here, people, is these officers in Davison Township Police Department, they were called around 4:15 in the morning on June 2nd for a body on the side of the road, on the side of Davison Road. That person was Taisha Kemp. She was there. She was unconscious, but she was alive. When they got there, they tried to keep her alive and do what they could do, but she did pass away at the scene. She passed away at the scene. And as you heard in that first video how terrible it was, they went more into description of what her body did when her boyfriend, Brandon Mero, hit her. Now, after Brandon Mero did this, he left the scene. He knew what he did. He knew what he intended to do. He left the scene. These two were having an argument earlier. Brandon Mero was mad. He seen his girlfriend Taisha. He figured, I'm going to get at her for this argument, do what I want to do, and he got her up out of here. That's exactly what he wanted to do. Problem solved. Now, why did he do it? Because Brandon Mero is just a hateful junkie. Okay? He's a hateful junkie. And that's what he's always been. He found a black woman that he thought he could piggyback off of, and he did, and he could have, and he did, you know, for the time that they were together. And, you know, things started going left for him. She started saying some things, bringing up some things. Okay? Now, it's really a shame. It's really a shame because you have these white guys like Brandon Mero. All they're doing is looking for a black woman to, you know, Jemima them up. They're just looking for a black woman to Jemima them up. And these white guys, they know this now, and it's been working. Okay? He hit this woman on purpose because he was mad. He left the scene, left her on the ground suffering. A car is a deadly weapon. He's supposed to be charged with murder. No. The white community said no. The judge said no, not murder. Not murder. Brandon Mero, he's faced with operating a vehicle while intoxicated, causing death, and 3 other felonies related to the death of Taisha Kemp. That's what he dealt with. That's what he faced, okay? He's accused of these 3 other felonies, including witness intimidation, tampering with evidence, and failure to stop at an at-fault crash. The judge ruled that there was not enough evidence to hit Brandon Mero with murder. So the judge reduced it to operating while intoxicated, which caused death. Brandon Mero's attorney said that I think it's very clear that there was no premeditation.
Did you know that there's a secret plant hiding in nature's pharmacy? A small plant with the power to eliminate type 1 diabetes.
His lawyer said the road was dimly lit and Taisha was wearing dark clothing. Wow. Officers respond to a call. People, this is absolutely nuts. Now when the officers came to the scene for this right here, they tried to, they did a reconstruction team. They did a reconstruction thing to investigate this accident. Basically, let's do this whole redo. Let's do this reconstruction thing to determine what really happened here. And after this reconstruction team came in and did this, they determined that since there was no acceleration by Brandon Mero at the time of the crash, he did not intentionally try to kill Taisha Kemp. They went on and said, Brandon Mero's attorney after this went on and said, it was just a perfect storm and a terrible tragedy. He said Mr. Mero is still going to be held accountable on very serious charges, and I am pleased with the judge's ruling. So people, you see the things that they can come up with. They can use their imagination. Everything's a possibility when a white person, a white suspect, takes the life of a black person. You know? And it just shows they can do this when they have no respect for black life, okay? It's the perfect storm, they said. These people know that he hit her. He said he hit her. After he hit her with a deadly weapon, which is a vehicle, he left her on the road to die. They said, no, we can't charge him with murder. Why? Oh, because he didn't accelerate. Now, how dumb does that sound? So now you got to accelerate for you to prove that a deadly weapon was used to kill somebody. So if I'm going 25 and I hit and kill somebody, you know, that's it. Okay? If somebody's going 25 and they hit and kill somebody, they just killed them at going 25. They say, no, it wasn't intentional, because if it was, they would have accelerated from 25 to 50. For example, it was the hit, it was the intentional hit that caused death. It doesn't matter if the person's going 20, 15, 30, 40. It was intentional, and they were using a deadly weapon, and it caused death. These people here are trying to say, now they come up with this, everything goes to everything matters when we got a white okay, so, oh well, yeah, he hit her, but when the people came on the scene and looked, it wasn't intentional because he didn't accelerate. Why you got, so now you got to accelerate to kill. So if I'm going 25 and I see somebody, I'm going to run them over. I could just run them over. That's not murder because I didn't accelerate up to 35, 45. Come on, man. You see how they do, y'all? Come up with anything. They come up with anything to justify what these thugs do when it's a black victim. You know what I mean? The perfect storm. Then they say he was intoxicated. Okay, this guy's a junkie. I guarantee you, if you followed this dude for 3 months, for the past 3 months, and you tested his urine and blood every day, he would have meth, crack, alcohol, pills, something in his system where he's intoxicated. He was always intoxicated. So now he's being rewarded and getting less time for being a junkie. This is wild, y'all. This is wild. It's a shame that this happened to this young lady, Taisha Kemp, but I mean, it's pretty obvious that she was under the spell called Caucasian European hypnosis. I know that she's from Flint, Michigan, and a place with a lot of black people. I mean, Flint, Michigan is so black that they don't even feel as though the people there deserve clean water. And then eventually she moved to a place called Davidson, which is 93% white and no African Americans in Davidson. That's what they said. 93% white, no African Americans. That's what she moved to. And, you know, she possibly could have felt that She was living a different life. She's in Davidson. She got this white guy who happens to be a junkie. She's only with him because he's white. Okay? It can't be anything else. It can't be anything else. He has nothing to offer. And it's a shame because a lot of our people, we can't better ourselves without thinking that wherever white people are living at, it's the land of milk and honey. You know, I understand people who want to move for safety reasons. I'm not knocking any black person that says, listen, I got to get out of here. I got to move here. I get it. Everybody's life and situation is different. But the problem is, when black people leave these situations where there's danger around black people, you know, due to, you know, drugs and violence and the ghettos that they make, they oftentimes become victims of the same thing when they go to these places where white people are, because their guards are down. Okay? Their guards are down. So they've been living around black people in these ghettos for so long, they're thinking, well, black people, ghettos, violence, drugs. Then they get out here with the white people and boom, it's too late. They realize that they're around some people who have always been 1,000 times more violent than black people for absolutely no reason. And that's how people get caught up, y'all. And it's also because it's often in the news. They see all these stories in the news. They don't hear these stories that are, you know, on channels like this or others where you clearly see they doing that. You know, white Americans are very violent and they're getting away with it. You know what I'm saying? Not just in your ghetto. You got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to be proactive. You got to be cognizant everywhere. You know what I mean? But a lot of our people, we tend to think that, oh, it's white people, it's safe. Nah, it's some white people that just want to hunt you down because you're black. You know what I mean? And those of us who were under this Caucasian hypnosis, European hypnosis spell, we're the ones that's getting hit up. They're the ones that's getting hit up. Look at Tyson Kemp. Look how she got caught up in this. You know what I mean? Just from this guy's background and what he's doing in life. Stay away from junkies like this. This dude, she knew he was a loser, you know, but she probably didn't think it would go this far. She didn't think that this dude would take her life, you know, but she didn't know enough. All she knew was he was losing. It's a difference between a black loser and a white loser. A black loser is oftentimes already going to be put away, or he's on some skid bid where he's out and then he's going to prison. These white guys, they get to roam and hobble amongst the earth with their knuckles dragging on the ground, getting passes for years. So if this guy, Brandon, was black, he probably would have been in state prison already. But I think that this young lady here, she loved and adored white people. You could look her social media, I didn't see any pictures of anybody that looked like her. Everybody's white or biracial or something like that. And another thing, we see many of these black women, when they decide to be with a white man, they often are with these junkies. Again, like I said before, and they usually go on social media and try to, you know, polish these guys up and make it appear as though they're living this good life with this white man, you know, taking pictures and things like that. And these guys are straight up junkies. And a lot of us, we can tell that these dudes are junkies, but they try hard to polish these dudes up. Many of us can see all the way through that. People who aren't under the Caucasian European hypnosis spell, you can see through it. And they could have a guy looking like Fred Flintstone, man, and they'll just be like, oh, he's white, let me go ahead and get him on here. You know, guys like this guy, Brandon here, they know what they're doing. They're going around, they know the energy, they know the mindset. They're looking for these black women to just jemime them up and piggyback off of black women. These guys are junkies. That's what they do. You know, these guys are drug addicts. They moving with these girls. The girls are just happy that they're white. They're in the house, going around with their yellow drawers on, dropping cigarette butts on the couch, on the floor, you know, washing up different, just doing some things that are not culturally what these black women are used to. Then after a while they get tired of it. Then they don't want to say anything because they don't want to, you know, look stupid and everything, because they didn't went around with that All Lives Matter big helmet on. They went around with the All Lives Matter helmet on, so they don't want to look stupid. They're a little embarrassed. They don't say anything, and they deal with these guys longer and longer. But, you know, it's real messed up. And when I say all lives matter, people, listen, man. If there's anybody that knows all lives matter, it's black people. I don't even get into that. I'm just talking about the stuff that black people say when black people say, oh, well, black lives matter. They respond, all lives matter. You know, I'm not into either one of them slogans.
That was interesting. But I wanted to play this one video What does what?
Eating healthy every day didn't work for me,
You know, it
but I
didn't.
couldn't figure out why until I started using rice to
Hold on.
burn fat and went from 100.
Okay, so y'all, story time. So y'all, please tell me if I'm wrong.
The fact that you're asking, yes, you're wrong.
So today this dude wrote me on Instagram and he was like, can I send you money? Let me send you money for lunch. So I was like, okay. I wrote him back and I was like, send it.
Some random dude that you don't know? Okay.
So he wrote me and was like, okay, what's your cash app? So I sent him the cash app. Yeah, I just knew I was finna open my cash app and I was finna have at least probably about $100. You get what I'm saying? Because like, this I eat and that's how much I spend on my food.
You spent $100 for one meal? So over a work week, you spent $500 just for lunch?
Yeah, I opened my cash app and this man sent me $30.
I don't care how much it was. Which one of you knucklehead dudes out there are sending money to women you don't even know?
Yeah, it's $30. And I'm just like, at first I'm like, damn, like, am I ungrateful? Like, am I fucked up? Like, feeling like, why the fuck would you send me $30? But then I had to ask people, and they was like, nah, because I'm like, $30 is not even half a tank in my car. Like,
he wasn't sending you gas money. He was sending you money for lunch.
If you was a regular working girlie, you would have already had gas in your tank.
Thank you. Why the hell are you talking about gas?
What the fuck you thought I was gonna go to Chick-fil-A? Like, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what did you think I was gonna eat? It's like,
She is not talking about the regular girlies like me. We would have happily took them $30, put it in our DoorDash account, and ordered us some good Chick-fil-A with a milkshake.
when I go and eat, I eat full course meals. Like, I order a appetizer, a entree, and a dessert and a drink. That can't even get me 2 drinks. Like, what the fuck? And then this man had the audacity to write me back and say, let me get to know you. Why the f do you think I'm gonna let you get to know me and you just send me $30 for lunch?
You see how stank-a-dank they act if you don't give them what they expected? This is exactly why you don't send money to women you don't know. Remember, they're strong and independent. Let them buy their own lunch.
Is you dumb?
Is you dumb? It's are you dumb? Did you graduate from grammar school?
I mean, like, y'all be for real. Like, tell me, am I wrong? Like, am I fucked up? Like, is my head fucked up? Like, I don't even spend $30 on lunch on my, like, I spend over that on myself.
Am I the only one who can't stand the way these new generation women speak?
Like, when you think that I'm supposed to go eat it, like, if that is not enough, I eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, $30, that won't get me 2 drinks. And, like, you know, they talk like that, you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's really annoying.
Okay, so it's not just me.
So it's like, for someone to think they're gonna send me, I get that this start the count, like, you didn't have to send me $30, but it's like, no, like, nigga, I'm not that type of, I'm not one of them.
Oh, we know which one of them you are. You're one of them that need to pay for everything yourself. Once again, which one of you knuckleheads are sending these women that you don't know money?
Yeah, I opened my cash app, and this man sent me $30.
I think she was tripping, and that $30 is more than enough for lunch. Yes, but that's my standards. That's not hers, and that's okay. The minute I knew y'all was on some BS, when y'all started throwing around that G word, she should be grateful. I would be glad to get $5. I would be just glad to get a good morning. I would just be glad for $10. Y'all think any attention from a man is enough. That's when y'all cross the line.
She shouldn't be getting this type of attention from a man that she doesn't know. And since you want to give out life lessons, I watched your entire video, and nowhere in there did you advise men not to send money to women they don't know. Nor did you tell women not to accept money from men they don't know. Look at her caption. It says, stop being grateful for the bare minimum. Your teachable moment should have been about being careful who you take money from, not going in on people because they said she should have been grateful. What about her safety?
One thing I'll never be able to do is take money from a total stranger. Now, every girl wants to be spoiled. Every girl wants to be treated like a princess queen. But if I don't know you from a can of paint, why am I going to accept money from a total stranger, some random stranger that DMs me on Instagram? Now, come on now. How about safety? How about wisdom, right?
Right. But she's sitting there talking about men giving the bare minimum. She doesn't even know this guy.
Yeah, I opened my Cash App, and this man sent me $30. Yeah.
Man, listen, I live in New York City. I work a corporate job downtown Manhattan. I hate spending $20 on lunch. You're crying about 30? From your accent, I can tell you don't live in New York City. I live in one of the most expensive places in America. Lunch is costing me $20, $25 on a regular. What are you eating? That she said she spends $100 on lunch. Where do you live that you're spending all this money on lunch, sweetheart?
The guy sent her $30 and she said that wasn't enough. Then she's like, oh my bugging, like why would you send me $30? Go send it back then.
Oh, you know she's not gonna do that. Whenever these type of women receive money from men, it's never enough. But you never hear them say they sent it back, which proves it is enough money for them to get something that they need. How much you want to bet she took that $30 and went and bought lunch with it?
Like, how are you so ungrateful? Because I know for a fact you're not spending $100 on lunch every single day.
She is talking about the wire fraud girlies. She is talking about the scammer girlies. She is talking about the I only deal with dope dealer girlies.
This short 59-page book will make 6 figures on Amazon this year. In fact, I paid ghostwriters to
dope dealer girlies. Regular girlies like me who have 9 to 5s that only have 30-minute lunch breaks. We could have got a 15-piece wing from our favorite wing spot with them $30.
If you're used to so much damn money, then why then you should say no thank you when somebody sends you money. Say no, I'm okay, I can pay for my own food.
That would have given us delivery fee, tip, and all.
You know what this is giving me? It's giving no coffee dates. Even though I just met you, you gotta take me to a 5-star restaurant. It's giving money first, character never. As long as you can keep me spoiled, then it doesn't really matter who you are underneath.
This would have been a plus. Them $30, I could have met up with my BFF that evening with them $30 for a good chimichanga and a good strong margarita and still had some change left.
Giving spoil me, spoil me, spoil me. And later on, when I realize who you truly are, then I now become the victim because, oh my God, I never knew this is who he really was.
And this is exactly why I say y'all be meeting people and leaving out valuable information. Because why you ain't tell that man that you was a linebacker for the Burley Packs?
On Kanye West internet and sit up here and try to act like you balling when in real life your whole account is overdrawn the whole damn time.
You could have sent that money back if it was such an issue.
Stop. I know all the tricks. You waited to get your hair done to make this video. You did your makeup, everything to do that punk ass video. I see through all of it. That's why I got big eyes. I see through it. Stop. Take that funk ass $30 and go get something to eat with it. Come on, what you expect me to go to Chick-fil-A? Girl, if you eat $30 worth of food at Chick-fil-A, you gonna need insulin.
Women like you make it bad for other women because guess what? When he find out that you sitting here talking bad about him, he not gonna send no other woman no money because he gonna feel like you gonna belittle him. It's not enough.
Had you said something, I'm sure it would have been extremely justifiable as to why you would need $100 for one meal. Him knowing that you would have to wake up early that morning and burn those calories on that field, I'm sure it would have been reasonable.
Sent you $30 to try to get to know you for lunch, but because it wasn't enough for the type of lunch you eat, you don't want to get to know him. But let a man that's on Instagram that got all this designer on reach out to you and ask you for your number for free. You're gonna give him your number and you're gonna get to know him.
I am sure that man thought you was probably just gonna get you like some buffalo wings or something for lunch. But instead you and them people establishment asking him to bring the whole buffalo out. Calm down, Big Moose. He didn't know he was feeding a party of 15. You mean to tell me you actually had somebody? And I'm gonna say had, because I'm sure that little situation is over, baby. You done burned that bridge. You actually had somebody who didn't want you to pay for your lunch that day, and God knows how many more days after that, but you won't never know because you didn't even make it past level 1, so we don't even know what's on level 2, and you mad about it? Girl, that's crazy about you. But I tell you what, you inspired me to open up a business for those who want to make videos but don't listen to them back. Okay, just send them to me and I'm gonna give you my response to let you know how dumb it is. Cause I don't understand how everybody talking and uploading, and ain't nobody replaying it back and listening? Baby, first grade, if you hear my voice cut once, baby, you a little too overly ambitious with the entitlement. And I just know it's some goofy in your comment like, yes, sis, I feel you exactly. And ain't ate in weeks. Just as malnourished, took all the strength she had just to type that.
I didn't interrupt this video because I wanted you to see the difference between some women versus others. You notice that some women said they would be grateful for the $30, but the lovely young lady who originally made the video is ungrateful. You never know which way this is gonna go. So spread the news to all men out there. Stop sending money to women you do not know. If you lead with money, that's all it's gonna be about. You see what happened with this poor guy. He sent her $30. She thought it was going to be $100, but since it was only $30, she's not going to spend any of her time with him. So basically, he just gave away $30. And notice, even though she mocked him sending $30, she didn't send it back. Let me say it one more time. If you have to spend money on her, or give her money, just to get some of her time, to get to know her, she's not the woman you want. Hey, somebody had to tell you, and I'm...
Zillow helped me land this Airbnb listing. Yes, Zillow. Now here's the craziest part.
Many modern women, unfortunately, are not even wifey material anymore, and I am about to tell you why. A lot of them are way too disrespectful. Some of them don't even know how to approach a man. A lot of them are way too promiscuous, throwing their vajayjays around like it's candy on a parade. Many of them don't know how to dress appropriate, and a lot of them have no morals, no values. They even lack in personality and communication skills because everything takes place on social media nowadays. I mean, it is so easy for them to copy one another, even the mindset and everything. That's why you have this thing going around as far as I don't need a man, I just want a man if I want a man. So therefore, let's get right into the clips because, again, we have a lot to talk about.
Why did you first come to Korea? So I was here as an English teacher initially, and then I ended up meeting my husband.
I'm truly sorry for already interrupting the video. I just need to point out two things which are kind of important right here. The moment I have seen this young lady's outfit and her tattoos and her stomach showing and everything, I immediately knew either her Korean husband is not a traditional man in Korea or their marriage ended up in a divorce. And another thing is, I was mentioning their communication skills. Do you see that she is not even able to look into the interviewer's face? And a lot of people have this problem. I mean, how are you supposed to connect with someone when you can't even look them directly into the face or into their eyes as you are speaking? And that's where it all begins. That's why a lot of people, when they are conversating with one another, they are afraid to look at each other. And that is something that even I noticed in my direct environment. There was this girl, I was talking to her on Instagram, but she also goes to the same gym as I do. Talking on Instagram was never a problem. Always texted back and forth, you know how it goes. But when I saw her at the gym and I approached her and I talked to her, actually, she couldn't even look me into my face. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, these people really are hiding behind these phones, which is another reason for why people are lacking in communication skills. A lot of them are insecure as well. But let's continue with the video because you will be shocked why this woman filed for divorce. Let's go.
How was it like being married to a Korean as a foreigner?
It definitely had its kind of ups and downs, like a lot of cultural differences, and the way like we would do things often resulted in like a lot of arguments.
And what cultural differences were there?
It was mostly just about like the way we would speak to each other. I love to like banter and kind of roast people, and he sometimes found it disrespectful. So we were together for 4 years, married for 3 years, and like we just recently started the process of getting a divorce.
And would you date or marry a Korean guy again?
Probably not. The only time that I think I would is if they were like Gyopo. Like if they were from like if they've been brought up in like Western country.
These two actually lasted for 7 years. Actually pretty good for today's dating era. But at some point, obviously, this Korean man has gotten sick and tired of her disrespectful way of communication. And I really cannot blame him. My mother has not once
disrespected my father on a certain level. There may be jokeful situations and then you may crack a joke or two, then that's fine. But doing this on a daily basis or being sarcastic, at some point men are going to get sick and tired of it. They're not going to want that, especially not when they come from certain traditional backgrounds. What I want to point out, though, that a lot of men from Western countries, also in America, are tolerating and accepting so much BS, and this whole passport bro movement is making them realize that they don't have to, that there are women out there who are feminine, who are respectful, and who will approach a man as he should be approached, which is a reason for men leaving certain countries. Also, the way a woman dresses will let you know whether if she's wifey material or not. I know nowadays a lot of people think that the more skin a woman is showing, the more modern she is, the more confident she is. And I will tell you, that's the complete false mindset. Because at the end of the day, the less you show, the less attention, validation you need from external people, the more self-confident you are. I don't need other men to look at me a certain way. I have my husband sitting at home. Everything is exclusive to him. I don't need attention from other men. Why? If I, as a woman, need attention from other men, then I never had a man to begin with, or my man never had a woman. And that is something that a lot of women don't understand. And also, men don't understand. So it has absolutely nothing to do with if a woman shows herself, she shows her cleavage, her booty, or whatsoever. That has nothing to do with confidence. And I honestly believe that a lot of men don't even like the fact that their women are going out looking a certain way. I don't care if she is going out with her girlfriends. I don't care if she is going to a girls' trip somewhere outside of the country that you live in. She is not supposed to dress a certain way. And that has nothing to do with me being prude. A woman needs to have standards. She needs to have class. She needs to have morals. And first and foremost, she needs to follow what her man is asking her to do. Let's dive into the next clip, which is actually by yours truly, the Sprinkle Lady. Let's see what she has to say.
The best age to start finding a husband? When you're tired of working. Some are tired of working faster than others. Were you tired of dating and working and paying your own bills? That's me, okay.
Oh, Uber Eats has groceries now? I gotta remember that.
You know, the best way to remember something is just forget something.
What'd you forget?
Hard to say.
I know what you forgot.
If I lost it all and I had to start from scratch,
goodness.
here's what I do to get back to 6 figures a year in 4 steps. So step 1.
I hope you were able to understand the question. The question of one of our followers was, what is the best age in order to find a husband? And this one out of 674,000 followers that this Sprinkle Lady has tells me by asking that question, this person has not understood the concept of getting married. So this goes to show you that these women nowadays, they are not looking for a husband to get married to so they can be a wife. Most of them are looking for a stepfather. A lot of them are looking for someone to cover their bills and upgrade their lifestyle. Because I'm going to tell you something, ladies, and also gentlemen. Women don't look for husbands. That husband will come and find you. And you may ask yourself, how is that supposed to work? And I will gladly explain this to you. You simply have to be different. You have to be outstanding. And no, I'm not talking about that your booty has to be the biggest. I'm not saying that your social media has to have the biggest following. No, you have to be different than the rest of these 3 or 4s who are running around, who are ran through, who are showing themselves to everyone, thinking that they are too good to be true, or even better yet, that they are a gift to mankind. Listen, you have to be outstanding in a sense of you have to carry yourself with grace. You have to be feminine. You have to have a positive aura. You have to have a soft aura. You know what I mean? A man has to feel comfortable in your presence and not feel like he is under pressure or he feels disrespectful or even threatened. You know, some of you are just so aggressive. And also you have to have proper clothing. No revealing pictures on Instagram. I said it before and I will gladly repeat myself again. There is absolutely no reason for a woman to show herself on social media to everybody in her bikini, in her lingerie, if you are not a Victoria's Secret model and getting paid millions and millions for wearing that. But a lot of them are using it to motivate other people. So you're at the beach and you're sitting there in your bikini, but what's your motivation behind it? What is it? First of all, if a person needs motivation, the only person that can give that person motivation is themselves. So somebody else sitting there at the beach showing their booty into the camera, you really are just looking for validation and confirmation. You need those likes. You need those fire emojis. That's what you need, which tells me that you're weak. So back to the topic though, just be different and the man will find you. There are so many women all over the internet talking about where did all the good men go? Why can't I find a husband? But yet they don't do anything to be a wife. So the sprinkle lady's answer to that one person's question was, the moment you are getting sick of working, of paying your own bills, that's the best time to look for a husband. So like I said, but what these women don't understand is once that man is paying all of your bills, once that man is putting food on your table or clothes on your back, he is the one who is your employer. So you're gonna have to really put in all the work to make his life easier. And I don't know if you don't understand that concept, but you cannot sit around pretend that you are the head of the household, but yet that man is going out there every single day and is bringing in that money that you are spending without even packing his lunch. And there's something else that these ladies don't understand. They don't understand that at the age when they are getting sick and tired of working, which usually is about like early 30s or mid 30s, a lot of them are ran through. A lot of them already have adapted the mentality that they are just too good to do anything for a man. They're just sick and tired of working and just looking for somebody to take care of them. But here's the catch. No man is checking for a woman to get married to when she's in her mid or late 30s. Those men are going to go ahead and look for somebody, maybe even outside of the country, who is in their mid or late 20s. And there is no way in hell that a woman in her mid or late 30s is going to compete with a woman of younger age. It's just not going to work. But you know what's even more disturbing? This sprinkle lady, she has about 674,000 followers on Instagram, and I think she has like a couple 100,000 on YouTube. She is misleading so many young women, or even women who are in their mid or late 30s, to stay single. Meanwhile, she is a whole married woman. Now, I don't know if her husband is happy, but at the end of the day, she's out here giving false information the majority of the time to keep other women single. And you're trying to tell me that this is supposed to be women empowerment? She even has a book on Amazon that is called I Bring Nothing to the Table. So you can even go ahead and read the whole script. Insane. So you have a whole bunch of women who are looking for husbands so they can get their bills paid, but they don't want to bring nothing to the table and they are proud of it. I'm sorry, in my world, that doesn't make any sense. So yes, a lot of women are extremely ungrateful. They're just looking for somebody to take care of them, which I understand. It is a beautiful thing for a woman to be able to be a stay-home wife or even a stay-home mom, but you also have to put in that work. You can't just sit there and do nothing. That's not going to fly. And if it does, it's not going to last long because that man is going to get sick and tired of coming home to a woman who's sitting on the couch, either only looking good for men on Instagram or giving that man an attitude all day. It's not going to happen. So in the beginning of my video, I was talking...
She's right. Watch this.
93 hertz free. It's more than catchy. It's for real. If you have a clogged drain...
You know what, ladies? Y'all are 100% right. Y'all were 100% right all along. When it came to the passport bros, y'all were 100% right. These aren't the men that you want. They're not. And you want to know why I know why now? You know what, ladies? Y'all are 100% right. Y'all were 100% right all along. when it came to the passport bros, y'all were 100% right. These aren't the men that you want. They're not. And you want to know why I know why now? Because I started traveling at, beginning of 2023. Went to Colombia, had a good time. Been to Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, back in Thailand for my birthday just the other day. Y'all are 100% right. These are not the men that y'all want. And the reason why I say that is because these are disciplined men. These are men who understand the value of a dollar, and they know how to turn money into more money and have more time to themselves. You know, things like this take time, and let's be honest, you guys, I think we all know that when it comes to female nature, especially women in the West, they really don't have the same kind of patience if you've been overseas compared to the women overseas. I literally pretty much passed out from what I can tell, from what I know, because I can only remember so much from last night. Don't you know 2 Thai women made sure I got home, didn't steal anything from me, made sure I got home in one piece. I mean, from what I can tell, they tucked me in the bed and everything. Like, they took good care of me. Y'all don't want these men. Y'all are 100% right. Y'all do not want these men. These men are traditional minded. These men are not gonna fold into what y'all want them to be, this new modern day man that y'all want them to be. They're not. They're not. These are the kind of brothers that most of y'all women probably wouldn't deal with till after you went through your 304 phase, or after you done dealing with the Pookie and Ray Ray, Chad types. Those guys that you claim can't get any box, when in reality they actually can. You just don't think they can because they don't fit a certain archetype or talk with a certain swag. These are your everyday regular men just going about their life, and they have found other places in the world where they can maximize their dollar and put themselves in a position where, how can I put this? Buy themselves time, if that makes any sense. And what I mean by that is they're making enough money to where they don't have to spend hours a day slaving. They can literally just come out here and, for the most part, just enjoy life. Enjoy the other spoils of life. You know? Start a family, have time to spend with their kids and their loved ones and their wives and girlfriends. Y'all are 100% right. Y'all don't want these men, because these men are marriage minded. And when you're bringing that kind of energy to these other countries, especially like countries like the Philippines, or where I'm at right now in Thailand, the women can basically smell it off of you, and they're willing to compete for you out here, which is something y'all don't want to do in the West. unless he's a celebrity or just got a lot of clout. I mean, even a few women that I could say even a few women back in the West all of a sudden have shown interest in me ever since my YouTube channel got to where it is now. So I think we can all agree that there is definitely some truth to that. Y'all don't want these men. Y'all are 100% right. Because women in the West aren't marriage minded like that anymore. I've noticed a lot of y'all still want to have kids, but y'all don't even want to get married to the men that y'all having these kids with. A good example of that is Drea Michelle. And if y'all don't know who that is, that's the 39-year-old who just got pregnant by an NBA player that's the same age as her oldest son. And she just said in a video that she does not want to be with the man that she's having the child with, and that she's free-spirited and she's non-traditional, which is basically code for I'm a 304. So with that being said, and keep in mind that woman is the same age as me. I just turned 39 yesterday. So if a woman my age, if that's the kind of mentality that I'm dealing with, imagine how the younger women are, which is the pool that you would think I would want to choose from, given the fact that I still want to have children. You got women in these other countries that are in their 30s and 40s and they still want to have kids, which I gotta admit is a little bit dangerous, but they want to have families. You go back to the West, women in their 20s, all they want to do is party and whatnot, or if they do want to have children, they'll have kids by men that, you know, that they're aroused by and what have you, but typically, more often than not, those guys don't make good fathers. And then eventually, years go down the road, they get in their 30s and 40s and they're complaining about being a single mom and how no man wants to take them seriously, because they realize that they need another presence, a masculine presence, in order to get the help that they need raising a child. But they don't want to be married. We got some of the highest divorce rates in the world. Women are initiating most of the time. And then they want to sit over here and say men are the problem. However, if you look at the lesbian divorce rates versus gay divorce rates, they're 3 times higher. The lesbian divorce rate is 3 times higher than the gay divorce rates. I think for gay men it's like 25%. Lesbian couples, 75%. And heterosexual is right there in the middle, somewhere between like 50 to 60, like somewhere between like 50 to 55, 56 or something like that. So how is it, just based off of those numbers, that you're going to sit over here and say men are the problem? When percentage-wise, there's far more single mothers out here than there are men that are childless. Like, think about that for a minute. There's more childless men out here than there are childless women. Men seem to want to be married more than women do. But for some reason, women still want us to keep having kids. Y'all right. Y'all don't want these men.
And I'm going to stop it right here. My counter's going up. I was going to speak another 5 minutes. It was sad with the 2 cases earlier, what happened to those women. The one domestic violence, and the other one got deleted. But it's just gonna show you. I'm making this video is trying to understand some of the women out here. What's up with their character when it comes to picking a mate? You know, when it came to selecting a man. And that's why I played the other video about when you get somebody, this is the way they treat them. Complain about a $30 meal. Then I let the show you how from a woman's perspective, because there might be some women say, "Oh, you just being." So now a woman has to come from her perspective of why men are choosing to go to go across the seas, to go find different women outside of America, and probably it's the same thing in Canada and Britain and all them other places that the women have this certain mindset, and they're not really. They have selective hearing, some of them, and they're not really coming to reality that men are fed up. There are men out there who are fed up. There are good men that are really fed up. And then another thing that they see other men lose everything behind some allegation, behind some misinterpretation. Because the courts, when it comes to working out some deal with spousal support, child support, so that's really showing other men not want to settle down. Then you, like I said, then you have this high expectation with some women that think that they're gonna meet someone is near a millionaire status, and they want to get treated like a millionaire status. And in actual reality, like I was telling to a friend, the average person right now is making maybe 20 to maybe 60 to 70 grand on the job. It depends on what type of job that they have. So they are so unrealistically and on their choice. And when they do choose a guy, they used to choose this guy like with the other ones. They could choose somebody half cocked. And so that goes back to why do the men? Because it's the women that make the choices of what a certain type of women, when it came to black women, what type of men that they want, and if they're outside of a black man, that they will submit to. So when they submit to someone like those two men earlier, they get that. It's a 50-50 chance they can get that kind of result. But and they really don't find the guy based on his character. And they make on his perception instead of really getting to know somebody based on their character. And I mean that can go the same way for men too, be fair. But at the same time, this is the reason why so women keep making these TikTok videos and other videos complaining of why men are going overseas, because they don't have a personality. And it's just like the woman had to put it coming from a woman. That's why I played this video, because she even see it in how some women are, the way they dress, the way they perceive, and she nailed it right on a persona of a woman. That's what, and these women are losing that persona, or there's some women that never was taught that type of persona, and it takes a woman who comes from the Most High to teach them how to be a submissive woman in that way, a pleasant woman. But these women are too headstrong. They way too headstrong. They get so crowded up, and then some women get hurt, but they don't know how to forgive. They don't know how to let go. So they put a certain men in this type of vision, and they only hurt themselves because they haven't forgiven themselves and they haven't forgiven that person. And some women probably need some healing in the mind because they're too being bitter. And I think that's why a lot of the videos that you picture is that women are just hurt and they're angry some are bitter, and some just have it's too headstrong. They too want to give you so much mouth. They want to be right. They want to be this way. You know, and they try to make that argument that to weaken a man and maybe insult a man, but they don't understand it's going to backfire on you. This is what they don't understand. This is what the last two people trying to point this out. That's why the men are leaving. So men are the men who are single, some who are divorced and single, are going out the country. And it's up to the women. Like I said, a man can't make you do whatever he can't do, but and as far as in the bedroom, as far as marital. But if you want to keep him happy, it won't have to. It can be mutual. It don't have to be someone controlling. It's just having position because he has to love you and honor you because that's the way it should be by the Bible standard. But of course, some people don't believe in the Bible. Some people don't even believe in God. But it all comes back to the woman. It comes back to, because now it's in your court. So, but are you going to decide to be feminine or change your mindset? But if you're not one, if you want these headstrong women, then I don't think you need to stop complaining on men that's going overseas when you're not a submissive woman or you're not a submissive wife. If you don't know, speak out and kind of have a broad approach about it. And sometimes maybe you just need to hear men and stop trying to argue down men and listen to men, which is your opposite of you. Maybe that if more women learn to do that and try to see it from their point of view, it would make life a lot easier. But there are women who are not going to do that. They got so much ego and pride and too much sister girl energy into them and everything. They ain't gonna do it. They're not gonna do it, and they will argue and fuss and fight. And then the same women, and then if the women who succumb to do the right thing in order to get the man, they're trying to come at them wrong, like they come at that woman. She was speaking the truth. So it's up to you. And up to women out there. I mean, this is women probably already understand it, but the women that don't, and if you want these headstrong women out there that's over driven the man away, you need to kind of refocus, especially when you see a woman been in 5-6 relationships, and maybe 7 to 8 children come up out of it, and then they go on to saying that they're on a 4th, they're looking for a date. Maybe it's them. They haven't figured out at 30, at 40, at 50. Like come on. It comes back to them or their selection. It's your choice. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you like this video. Like and subscribe till next time I see you on the next video. And ladies, be careful who you date out there. You see what happened with them other 2 women. Be careful who you select. What is a man of another race or the same race of man? Be careful, because you never know who a person is. And guys, you be careful what kind of women you get too. Alright then, take care.